getting a little dreary.
A severe winter storm warning is sweeping the western states.
The big picture on the winter storm warning, it's also getting a piece of Utah.
Welcome to Newsline. It's Wednesday, February 13th. I'm Paula Kiko Chandler.
And I'm Madeline Reber. Sweaters and hot chocolate might be ideal Valentine's Day gifts this year.
A vicious cold blast is crawling across the U.S., bringing plenty of snow and ice. John Lawrence reports.
Wintry weather from coast to coast.
I'm ready for spring, there's no question about that. It can't come soon enough.
Roughly 75 million Americans are under some kind of winter alert this week, and inclement weather resulted in thousands of flight cancellations and delays on Tuesday. Among the states getting pounded with up to a foot of snow, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Kind of hard outside, like the ice, but I kind of like it because it's like a little workout for me. But others may think it's not that good, but I kind of like it. I'm a snow guy.
In Chicago, falling ice forced city officials to shut down a couple of streets for safety reasons. Residents of the Northeast received various forms of precipitation, rain, freezing rain, and snow. Meanwhile, Mammoth Mountain in California is making the most of the snow. The ski resort is boasting 210 inches of snow and says its ski season will last at least until July 4th. Snow even landed in Hawaii, where some summits got a dusting. For those keeping watch, spring officially starts in just over a month.
Yeah, it's getting a little dreary. I will own that, but I do love the change of seasons.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Yeah, and as we can see, this is kind of the storm as it's moving across the U.S. It's hitting the West Coast heavily right now, and also going up all the way almost to Washington, mainly Oregon and California. We here in Utah, we're also getting hit. You can see that right there. And so that is just moving across, and it's going to keep moving across as it continues on. Anyways, but a lot of it is rain. As we can see these temperatures, that green is going to be above freezing, whereas the blue into the purple is all going to be below. So where you see the green, you're more likely to get some rain, but you might get some snow if you're kind of at a higher altitude or maybe out at a mountain or something like that. But this is going to be what it's going to be looking like over the next sort of week, is these temperatures. And they're going to be fairly consistent as we continue on throughout the week.
Ogden police have one suspect in custody and are searching for another in connection with the deadly shooting on Monday night. Police arrested 23-year-old Theron Farmer on Tuesday afternoon. Police believe he shot two brothers. 18-year-old Cameron Johnson was killed and Eric Johnson was critically injured. Ogden police say they are looking for another suspect involved in the shooting. Anyone with information about the case are encouraged to call 801-629-8228. A Midvale man is behind bars today after police say he shot a man who was dating his ex-girlfriend. 24-year-old Sean Brian Blake was booked into Utah County Jail for suspicion of aggravated attempted murder and aggravated assault. Investigators say the victim who was shot was found lying outside his apartment with wounds in both arms. He was taken to Intermountain Medical Center, but does not have life-threatening injuries.
Many people in North Ogden are still trying to figure out what happened at a city council meeting that was evacuated last night.
Meeting will now come to order.
A North Ogden City Council meeting was evacuated after the City Council reportedly received a death threat. This is a video from the meeting, but it no longer shows the evacuation. The video has been edited and ends before everyone was forced to leave. The public and those in the meeting were unaware of what was going on. Officers say they didn't find anything or anyone suspicious inside the building. Detectives are still investigating the credibility of the threat. The University of Utah released campus safety recommendations and changes following the death of former university athlete Lauren McCluskey. On the day that would have been McCluskey's birthday, the University of Utah president and police made significant changes to address possible missteps taken by the university that could have contributed to McCluskey's death. Lauren's mother tweeted a response to the changes asking if the meeting was meant to be on her daughter's birthday and if the university will admit that they did not respond correctly.
Orem Fitness Center will be getting a long overdue facelift beginning this summer. Newsline reporter Amber Peterson is live at the rec center now to tell us about these changes.
If you've ever been inside the fitness center here, you know that the building is old. One of the changes that will be coming to the center is a suspended track on the upper floor instead of having to run in the damp, dark basement.
The Orem Fitness Center has been serving the community since 1979. But only the pool area has had major renovations. Now that the bond has passed, the building will finally be getting the much-needed changes.
Pretty much it's a blank slate that's just open for the architects to redesign.
The pool will receive some behind-the-scenes upgrades like plumbing, heating, and the boiler room. Otherwise, the majority of changes will be focused elsewhere in the building.
The big goal is to have some family change rooms. It's kind of the new trend. Instead of having men's and women's locker rooms where you send little kids in by themselves or whatever.
Another major change will be the running track.
If you've been in our track, it's in the basement. It's dark. It leaks. It's just not a fun place. So they want to do a track and a suspended track upstairs.
Larger rooms will be built to allow more variety in the classes that can be offered and will also welcome group gatherings.
Right now we don't have anywhere to do group meetings. So birthday parties is a huge request that we get. We have this great little pool for the kids, but nowhere to host the party before.
People who currently have memberships will have 3 options to get the full use out of the time remaining on their passes. Members can have the remaining time refunded, suspend their pass until the new center opens and receive 1.5 times the amount left on the pass, or use the pool, which will remain open during construction, and receive 2 times the amount left on their pass.
In addition to all these changes, the entrance will now open up to the north to Center Street, making this building a lot easier to find. All these exciting changes are expected to begin this June or July. Back to you.
Thanks, Amber.
The owners of Lizzie's Kitchen in Salt Lake City are replacing their vandalized pride flag. Members of the Salt Lake City community are rallying behind Lizzie's Kitchen after finding someone climbed on a table and destroyed their pride flag Monday night. The restaurant is owned by Utah State Senator Derek Kitchen and his husband, Moody Spidey. The restaurant owners are accepting donations to share their pride flags with other local businesses who want to support the LGBTQ community.
The Utah Department of Health is urging the city of Lehigh to postpone the plan of opening mining operations at the point of the mountain. The mining company would clear an area of the mountain to make way for new developments, but the Department of Health first wants to complete a study about potential health impacts this project could have on people nearby. The city commissioned the Department of Health study as part of the proposed West Canyon Development Project. It's estimated that the study would take about a year to complete.
Utah lawmakers advance a bill that allows cars to run red lights. The House of Transportation Committee voted 7-4 to endorse a bill after it was held last week due to concerns about wording. Bill sponsor Representative Ken Ivory rewrote parts of the bill to add that cars must wait at least 90 seconds. And instead of directly legalizing running red lights, Ivory made it an affirmative defense if they receive a ticket.
The viral web series The Bachelor of Provo, based on ABC's The Bachelor, has changed its name after a copyright claim.
Will he find love in the end? Who will it be?
The show's creator announced Tuesday that Provo's Most Eligible will replace the original title. The series also will feature a different format moving forward that excludes other trademarks such as the rose ceremony. Provo's Most Eligible will continue to be loosely based off The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, with an upcoming season that will feature a female star and male contestants. The creators opened applications for the second season Tuesday on the series' new website.
Nora the polar bear is healing very well. Holgel Zoo's rambunctious 500-pound polar bear broke her humerus bone while playing 2 weeks ago. After a successful surgery last week that involved many plates, screws, pins, and needles, Nora is able to put a little bit of weight on her injured leg. The surgeons at the zoo are very pleased with the polar bear's progress, and Nora will be off display for the next few months to allow her bone to make a full recovery.
Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was found guilty of 10 charges yesterday.
This conviction is a victory.
Find out what they are and what punishments would follow next.
I guess you never know what people are doing inside of their homes.
2 parents are facing charges and their children are in the hospital. We'll tell you what police found inside their home.
Disney unveils a sneak peek at the new sequel to Frozen. Find out what the movie will hit theaters next.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Think
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman Loera is expecting a life sentence in prison. After 56 witnesses and 200 hours of testimony, Guzman was found guilty of all 10 counts, including engaging in criminal enterprise, money laundering, and drug smuggling. Guzman is expected to be sentenced for life. U.S. prosecutors are calling this a victory for the American people, for Mexicans who have lost loved ones in the drug war. A horrifying scene in Texas. Authorities who were called to a home in the town of Rome found 4 malnourished children covered in feces and urine. 2 of the children were locked in a dog crate. Neighbors say they didn't even know the kids lived in that home. The children were taken to a hospital in Fort Worth and are now in foster care. Both parents are charged with 4 counts of child endangerment.
The U.S. debt had hit a new record, topping $22 trillion for the first time. The national debt has been rising a fast clip since 2008 financial crisis. That's when Congress and the Obama administration approved stimulus funding to prop up the economy. The debt began to level off at the beginning of President Trump's term, but it jumped again after it hit the 2017 tax cuts. A long-awaited Frozen 2 teaser is finally out. It's been more than 5 years since Elsa, Olaf, Kristoff, and Elsa sang and danced their way into our hearts, and now the gang is back together for the second adventure. The original film was released in 2013 and grossed more than $1.2 billion in the box office. It's currently the highest-grossing animated film of all time. The sequel hits theaters on November 22nd.
A local advocacy group is trying to get funding for postpartum health issues. What exactly the funding is for and how it will help new mothers.
The Westminster caused more controversy than one might expect. We will show you what is being said on social media about our furry friends.
It's snowing on the West Coast, it's raining. And the same thing is happening in Utah. We'll tell you more when we get back.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
At a time when religious and political conflicts are high, it may seem impossible to see disagreements as a good thing. Newsline reporter Nikki Wilson joins us now. Nikki, can people have conversations about religion and politics without getting into a fight?
Well, diversity can be dividing, but I talked to philosophy professor Nate Rockwood, and he says that discussing differences can be productive.
It helps build empathy towards other people, and instead of dismissing somebody who disagrees with you or have a different point of view as being like crazy, instead you can kind of appreciate them as a person and recognize that they have reasons for holding the beliefs that they have.
Rockwood says understanding where others are coming from may help you create a more convincing argument and help you establish your own beliefs. He says keeping an open mind is also important.
So the philosophers have this principle they call the principle of charity, and that is that when you're in a disagreement with somebody or you're kind of looking at a different point of view, that you don't assume that the other person is just crazy or that they have no reasons for believing the things that they hold.
He says applying the principle of charity to arguments means seeing the other person as rational and intelligent. BYU may feel like a bubble sometimes, but Rockwood says he's pleasantly surprised that there are lots of points of view, even on questions of religion. It's important to remain critical and logical in your arguments, especially in 2019. So next time you butt heads with someone, maybe consider it for at least a second from their point of view. Palakiko, back to you.
Thanks, Nikki.
On the Hill this week, a local advocacy group is trying to get funding for better maternal mental health resources. Newsline reporter Danny Hallows joins us now. Danny, what is this group doing?
Yeah, the group is called Postpartum Support International Utah. They're hoping that by talking to legislators, they can get more money to support the 1 in 7 Utah moms that will struggle from postpartum health issues.
When little 1-year-old Brooklyn wakes up from her nap, the first thing she sees is her mama. And while her mama looks glowing and happy, it wasn't always this bright and sunshiny.
It was just kind of like this is my life now. How am I going to get through this?
Brooklyn's mom, 22-year-old Kirsten Alley, struggled with postpartum mental health stress and anxiety.
So there'd be times where I'm like totally fine, and then 5 minutes later I'm sobbing because I'm like, what have we done? We can't give her back.
But Kirsten is not alone. 1 in 7 Utah women suffer from postpartum depression. 25-year-old Janessa Garrow's postpartum depression came on slowly.
I think my husband noticed things before I noticed them. Crying, it was weird. It's kind of like puberty all over again.
It was with help from family and time when things got better for Janessa. But for some Utah women, things don't get better. That's why a local group, Postpartum Support International Utah, and Representative Jen Daly Provost met with legislators to secure funding for maternal mental health. The group is hoping to push legislators for $250,000, which would go towards more resources for mothers.
But when it comes to like mental health, you're kind of on your own more.
More money means moms don't have to play the game of trying to survive on their own. And it means more time for baby giggles.
Governor Herbert declared February as Maternal Mental Health Month last week, but Utah moms are still waiting to hear if this money request will be approved. Back to you.
The Wire Fox Terrier is the top dog in the country.
Allie Arnold joins us now. Allie, Twitter erupted over the winner for Best in Show when it was announced last night at Westminster Show.
That's right, the Wire Fox Terrier was awarded Best in Show, but many people thought the honor should have gone to another dog. Wire Fox Terriers are the winningest breed at Westminster, and King proved no different. After winning the Terrier category, King was in the final 6 and stuck it out to the end to reign triumphant. But some were disappointed by King's win, as there were a few fan favorites. One of them being Bean, the Sussex Spaniel. This is Bean's 2nd year in a row winning the sporting group category, and the crowd even chanted Bean's name before the Best of Show award was given. One user commented on this by saying Bean was Best in Show. Another recognized Bean's George Clooney level charisma. Another fan favorite was Burns the Dachshund. Burns won the Hound group, and viewers could not help but comment on what this user described as his happy, prideful expression on his perfect face. Another user expressed, honestly, these refs are getting out of control. Every sport is rigged. The Dachshund was robbed. Despite the varying opinions on the show, user Sarah Jo Romero reminded us all that we can look at this video of Burns whenever we are feeling down. Back to you.
Thanks, Allie.
Major flooding on the west coast, high waters surrounding vehicles, roads, and homes in southwest Washington state and northwest Oregon. Among the areas hit the hardest is Columbia County. Residents there collected sandbags to try to protect their belongings, but in some cases the effort was in vain. Mayor Jeffrey Cole declared a state of emergency for his city. He said the floodwaters were rising quicker than authorities could handle. As we look at this big, large movement of storm, that's what is flooding southern Washington, Oregon, and also coming in today through Utah. We're going to be getting some rain or we're going to get some snow. Kind of depends on where you are in the state. And we'll kind of look at the temperatures to try and figure that out. But this is going to be going this way for most of the week. We're going to have some type of precipitation, whether it's snow or rain. As we look at the highs for the state, Salt Lake is at 46 or 47, Provo at 46. Vernal is dropping below to 26, but St. George is a healthy 51. So for the most part, it's going to be rain in most of the state. But as we go to our lows, we can actually see that Salt Lake and Provo are still above freezing. Logan's going to be right around there. Vernal's at 17, St. George at 40. Looking at our 5-day forecast, we can actually see that southern Utah is looking at a little bit of rain, but then they're going to have sunshine for most of the week. They're going to just narrowly miss a lot of that precipitation as it comes through. Whereas in northern Utah, we're going to have some rain, snow, and then we're going to still have some cloudiness coming in right through there. And so make sure that as you are going about your week, you might want some galoshes or something else. Keep yourself dry. Should be good.
It's a good thing Valentine's Day is this week. We can stay cozy with our chocolates inside. Am I right?
Oh yeah, keep warm.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris. Coming up, the Utah Jazz traveled out to Oakland, California last night to face the Golden State Warriors. Find out how it turned out and where they stand in the Western Conference coming up. Also, the Duke Blue Devils had a huge night against Kentucky. Find out more about their historic evening coming up.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz had one more stop on their schedule before they headed out to Charlotte for All-Star Weekend as they went up against the Golden State Warriors.
We'll see what happens with him tomorrow night.
Despite a solid effort from the Jazz, the Warriors were able to score 34 points in the fourth quarter, including a 19-4 run to close out the Jazz and sending them home with a loss before the All-Star break. The Jazz sit at 32-25 on the season and currently sit at the 6th seed in the Western Conference. The Jazz will not play again until Friday against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Number 2 ranked Duke faced off against number 16 Louisville last night. With 9:58 left to play and Louisville up by 23, it seemed to be all over for the Duke Blue Devils. Rule number 1 in college basketball, though, never count out the Duke Blue Devils.
Cunningham over goal wire. Zion Williamson pulls it away, and the Blue Devils with a comeback for the ages.
The Blue Devils outscored Louisville 35-10 to close out the game and stands as the largest regulation comeback with 10 minutes left in Division I history. Duke shot 58% from 3 in this run, had 0 turnovers, shot 85% from the free throw line, and at its lowest point, their win probability was under 0.3%. With this win, Duke now sits at number 1 in college basketball power rankings. Duke plays NC State on Saturday. All this great basketball happening is just in time to lead up to the biggest weekend of basketball all year. All-Star Weekend will take place in North Carolina this year, hosted by Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets. Players from all over the league will come together to participate in competitions and games, including the Rising Stars Challenge and the Sprite Slam Dunk Contest. Last year, Donovan Mitchell won the Slam Dunk Contest. However, he will not defend that title this year. Everything kicks off with the Celebrity Game on Friday. Peanuts at a baseball game are an American classic until now. This season, the Hartford Yard Goats, which is a AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, decided to completely ban peanuts from their games. This decision was made considering peanuts are one of the most common and deadliest allergies in the U.S. The Yard Goats sold over 10,000 bags of peanuts last season and are looking for ways to increase sales on other food items. We'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
What? The Beehive State is about to be stung, but not in the way that you might think. That's right, famous British singer-songwriter Sting is putting on a benefit concert with the Utah Symphony Orchestra to celebrate 100 years of Zion National Park. All proceeds are going to the Zion Forever project that helps preserve the park. The concert is on August 31st in the USANA Amphitheater in West Valley City. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. To get your tickets, visit smithtix.com or call 800-888-TIX.
We should play some Sting for our hype-up meeting before we go on air.
I know, we love that. That's great. We get us really in the mood.
You know, throw us back a little bit. I think the last time I saw Sting was in the Bee Movie, and that was anime.
I really probably should look into their music more.
Thanks for joining us today on Newsline.
For more information or to share your stories with our friends, you can visit us at universe.byu.edu/Newsline. Have a great day.